1934, Alfred Hitchcock made his 18th movie, The Man Who Knew Too Much. The film was very well received at the time and considered by many to be Hitchcock's greatest film at the time of its release. 22 years later, in 1956, Hitchcock decided to remake his old classic. How was this retelling of the story? Let's find out. In 1956, The Man Who Knew Too Much was directed by Alfred Hitchcock, and the film stars Oscar winner James Stewart, Oscar nominee Doris Day, and Christopher Olsen. The movie currently has a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Alright.
My review is the film Man Who Knew Too Much was 1956, and it was the original version was 1934. The remake was directed by Alfred Hitchcock and produced by Universal Pictures. The main actors in the film were James Stewart and Doris Day, and the film office considered it a success with its only $1.2 million budget and making over $11 million in the box office domestically.
So how did we feel about this movie? For me, I think the story is good, the writing is good, but I think the movie is just so incredibly awkward. The acting is good for about 50% of the characters, but the other 50% of the cast is just trash. Most people just overreact in scenes where it's really not necessary. Lots of scenes are silent. You just hear like awkward, suspenseful music that doesn't really work with close-up shots of people, and it gets like just old after a while. One scene in particular, which is easily my least favorite movie scene of all time now, is the taxidermist scene. In this scene, Dr. McKenna walks into a taxidermist looking for someone who may know about his son, and the man convinces him that he doesn't know, and then everyone in the taxidermy comes and grabs Dr. McKenna, and they just kind of hold him there while they play the awkward, suspenseful music, and none of them talk. It's just Dr. McKenna saying, "Let me go." And then there's this random old guy who just comes in and picks up a swordfish, and you think, okay, he's gonna stab him with the swordfish, but he doesn't. He just takes it and runs away, and then he just kind of keeps coming in and taking the animals, and it doesn't make any sense. And then it ends whenever Dr. McKenna finally escapes, he leaves, and then it just puts the camera on a picture of, not a picture, but like the head of a lion, and then it just goes to the next scene, and it's, I don't know, just a lot of unnecessary stuff. What do you think, Tyler?
Well, the film was about average. I mean, it was okay. It was better than what I expected it to be at first. I thought the plot was kind of drug out and it was predictable a lot of times. And there were some points of the plot that were like unnecessary. I think whenever the friends came over to the apartment, like the hotel, and they just left them there, I thought it was kind of weird. And it might have been needed a little bit, but I don't think it was really needed. And then definitely the taxidermy scene, that shouldn't have been in the thing itself.
Was that it?
Yeah, I think so.
Alrighty. And then, do I recommend this movie? No, not at all. Stay away from this movie. It has a good story and pretty good writing, but the acting is just kind of bad for some people. Script choices at times are just weird, and the awkward music and close-up shots just get old, and they're pretty bad even when you first see them. So yeah, it's honestly just kind of painful to sit through this movie. Maybe for its time it was good, but I don't even really see that.
I think the movie wasn't too bad. It could have been worse, definitely. But it's a good entry into if you've never seen Alfred Hitchcock, one of his films. And I think a lot of films today, well, not a lot of films, but some films today are related from this into their own plots, like Taken. I think that has a lot to do with from this movie. It's got a lot of coherence. And I probably wouldn't watch it again, but it's definitely a good first time watch.
Yeah. Like, I think what you're saying, yeah, like when you say like now movies have kind of taken like influence from it.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely good that it came out and like provided like the outline for movies like Taken and stuff. But just personally, I don't like watching it, I guess.
I wouldn't watch it again.
Yeah.